my Flosstube friends, it's time for a Maynia episode. Hello everybody! Welcome back for a little Maynia quick update. It is Saturday, May 16th. It is the evening time, and I am here to update you on my progress on my piece that was chosen as a new start today, as well as spin my wheel to see what I'm going to start tomorrow. Today has been a bit of a different kind of a day. I didn't get to stitching until much later in the evening tonight. I spent a ton of time this morning going through all of my kitted projects, not all my kitted projects, excuse me, all of my whips, because they have started to just get piled up on my carts. I have gotten them organized. I swapped some bags out. I reorganized floss that was a wreck. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on cross-stitch related items. I just did not. Oh, and I found a few projects that I wanted to restart on different fabrics, so I figured out what those fabrics were. So that took some time away. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed what I did today, but I did not get to stitching until much later. And it's already 8:20 my time, and I did not want to wait any longer to update you on my progress. I am going to put in another probably 50 or so stitches to get about 300 stitches in this new start tonight, and then spin to see what we're going to start tomorrow. So thank you to all of you who have already watched my weekly update, which posted last night, and especially those who just had the kindest things to say about my quilting bee finish. I love that piece, and I love that finish, and I cannot wait to get something going on that. And I wanted to really shout out Malene, who Malene always makes the sweetest comments, and she really kind of put me in my place in a very good way. And so I want to thank you, Malene. She shared with me that when I said that it was going to go in my drawer of shame, that we should not be ashamed of our finishes, that we should be proud of them, and that it's just a drawer for things that are not fully finished yet. And she talked about, what if we called it your box of beauty, or your drawer of beauty, or your joy of proud moments, or the stitching you're proud of. And I think that that is awesome. And so I really want to just shout out her and her positivity and putting a positive spin on that, because she's absolutely right. There's nothing shameful. The only thing that's maybe a little bit shameful is that I feel compelled to have those things fully finished and on display. But I have to be in the right mindset to do that, and I am not right now. I actually pulled out a few that I wanted to get put up and put on my wall over here as a collage. But I just don't, I'm not there right now. I might soon, hopefully, and usually when that happens, I bust out a few. But I like that she kind of put me in my place, said it's not shameful. It is work that you should be proud of, and it's just work that's not fully finished, and you're being protective of it by putting it in a drawer in a nice, safe place. So thank you, Malene. I really do appreciate that. And I've read a lot of the other comments. I have not really had a chance, with being so busy today, to respond to many of them. And I know a lot of people are not frequent commenters, and so I really appreciate if you've taken the time to comment on that video. So thank you. Today's spin is Farm Life by Little House Needleworks. And it says, you cause the grass to grow for the livestock and plants for man to cultivate, that he may bring forth food from the earth. And I love this piece. I'm very excited about this piece. It does not look very large. It is going to be rather intricate and large. There are lots of little small color changes. There's lots of little tufts of grass, but I think it's what it makes it so special. So I am housing this piece in a bag that I could not remember where this bag came from. I figured it out. It is from Stars Hollow Stitchery. And so they are on Etsy. It's a very cute, it's like chicken wire in the animals. I love it. I'm stitching it in I think the called for palette, which is a combination of DMC and fancy flosses. When I have this many fancy flosses, I do like to put my flosses on, these are gift tags I found on clearance at IKEA, and I write what they are on them. And I saw Genius Jenny Long Dog Stitcher posted that she does this with her cards, and she actually credited it to another stitcher. She couldn't remember who it was. So if you're one who watches me, but I thought this was so smart that you take even your like classic Colorworks tags, because I've been putting them through the top notch. The problem with that is when you put them on a ring, it gets all jumbled up. But if you take your and put 2 additional holes, it gives you a spot for when you've pulled one skein off and you have taken some out, and then a remainder floss. And I thought that was pure genius. And so I've done that. I went through today, and on any of the ones that I was going back through the project, like to organize the floss, make it look nicer, I took some things out of Floss Away bags. I took some things out of Floss Buddies. I kind of revamped some of how my flosses were, because I really like them on the rings, and I like that I can show them to you in a nice way. So anyway, this is still on my Q-snap because I am still working through it a bit. And I just have it on my 6x8 Q-snap. I am stitching this on an 18 count Ada from Picture This Plus in Heartland, and which I love. It's a great neutral. It's actually what Quilting Bee was stitched on. That was a 16 count. It is also what Spring Acorns was stitched on. This is an 18 count, and I have several projects going on this, or will be going on this. And this is a Garon Toten Bags 8x8 grime guard. So this is my start, my bit of a start, and there's a shadow from the grime guard. Let me pull that out. So I started here in the center, stitched these 3 precious little carrots, and then I started working on this wagon. And before I turn it in to put it away, I'm going to finish out the carrots in the wagon and then the 2 wagon wheels. And that'll get me somewhere around 300 stitches. And I just think it is so cute. And I know that there are quite a number of you. I know for a fact Sheila had talked about starting it. Tanya had talked about starting it. Denise mentioned in the comments of the video yesterday that she was going to start it. And I think it is a fun project. I love this bag. It's a little bit on the smaller side, but it fits my 6x8 perfectly. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. So I think we need to see what I'm going to spend for tomorrow. My bucket looks fuller, but that is because I ran out of room for already started Maynia things. So from here back is already started. This is all of the options. This one's actually empty, and this very front one is spring tulips, which I still do not have the fabric for, but that is okay. I'm going to be patient. So we actually only have 5, we technically have 6 things left on the wheel. I am not putting spring tulips back on yet because I don't have the fabric. And so we've got 5 options, and we're going to see which one comes up for tomorrow. Now, I had talked about how I really hoped that it would be something more meaningful because it is Mimi's birthday tomorrow. So I also want to, I don't know when she's going to watch this, but I have to give my Stitchy BFF a shout out because today is her 1-year Flosstube anniversary, and that is Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher. So yay, Erin! I'm so excited that this is your Flosstube anniversary. Mine is on Tuesday. I will remind you, please watch on Tuesday because I have something I am going to share, a little giveaway for my 1-year Flosstube anniversary, and it goes along with my new start. So please tune in to that video. It will probably only run for like until the last day of Maynia, which for me will be the 23rd. So I'll have my normal weekly update on Friday, and then my last Maynia update, or my final Maynia like culmination, which may be the 24th, is when I will pick for that. So it won't even run a whole week. So keep on top of that, my friends. So let's see what we get. Let's see what we get for tomorrow. That's the perfect one. I was hoping it would come up. I was so hoping it would come up. So this lives in another one of those beautiful project bags from, I think her name is Shirley, and she is off. I found her bags on Stash Unload. I am still waiting on 1 chart from this series. I am stitching 6 of the Blackbird Garden Club series. So I'm stitching chart number 1, which is Basket of Cherries, chart number 2, which is Apple Orchard, chart number 5, which is Butterfly Garden, and I love this. It says County of Jackson is my home, but I'm considering recharting that to say something different. and it would be in back stitch because this is on linen. I am stitching this on Aida. And I actually think I might start with this one tomorrow and come up with some sentiment that goes along with, that means something to me and my grandmother, my late grandmother. Rarest Flower, which is number 8. These are out of order. Climbing the Trellis, which is number 7. And then the one that I have not gotten, I believe, is number 11, which is Fairy Garden. It is sitting with a very large order at 1, 2, 3 stitch. I'm going to be stitching this on a beautiful piece of 18 count. This was a fabric of the month from Color and Cotton. And this is Spectre. And this is not really showing up, so let me put this piece of paper behind it because it just looks kind of creamy white. But it's got this really pretty purpley gray tone to it. And it is a fat quarter, which I do not need the whole thing. And I did a conversion because I have a massive stash of flosses. And so I went through, and I need to go, and this reminds me, tomorrow first thing, I'm going to go through and fix all my cards and make them all, but like, look at that. That is a whack of floss right there. But it is gorgeous. There are so many beautiful colors. This is very close to the called for, which is a lot of Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks. I think it's actually mostly Gentle Arts. I actually do have some of the called for that was in Dive, and I need to get that on a card. And so what I did was went through and made actually like a conversion chart. So these are, each of the columns is the called for, and then what I am subbing in. There are a lot that actually are the called for. For instance, Gentle Arts Aged Pewter, Gentle Arts Antique Rose Burlap, Cider Mill Brown, Endive. I have a lot of those because they are either leftover from another project. I just think that's so fun. Or they were early on in a floss club that I am part of. So I'm very excited. I'll show you what this looks like. I think it's going to be really pretty, but I definitely need to sit down tomorrow and conquer the flosses because as you can see, Victorian mottos have a hole here. So what I've started doing is punching at the top so it'll hang at the same length as the Gentle Arts. I do the same thing with the Color and Cottons is I punch a hole up here at the top above the name. And then I'll also go through and put my 2 additional punches on all of these cards. But I love it. I'm so excited about this. So now I'm going to sit down and I'm going to prayerfully think about what I want to put in that butterfly garden. And I think that's the one I'm going to start with. I think so. So, I'm excited about this start. I'm excited about all my starts. And my hope is that since I did a lot of stuff today, I would like to work on projects bags tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. That maybe, just maybe, tomorrow I'll be able to stitch a bit more. So, with that, I'm going to say I hope you have a wonderful stitchy evening, and I will check in again with you tomorrow night to chat about my progress on the Garden Club series and spin for my Monday new start. So with that, I will say so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye.